What's up, YouTubers? You know who I am, AJ Copeland. This is Topics to Go. Today's topic is, or the morning topic is, or the evening topic is um, religion, tradition, and God. Religion, tradition, and God. Now, this is going to take some time to do. That's why I was kind of reluctant and kind of slow about getting into a topic on religion, because you can go all day about religion. But remember, my topics are only on food for thought. I don't get into a whole lot of details. I've done research, but I don't put a lot of my research on the forefront when it comes to, talking about the topic. I give you an opportunity to check out what I'm saying is true, you know. But let's deal with religion, tradition, and God. Now, religion, in my view, is a philosophy. It is things, it is rituals. And a tradition is to maintain those rituals, the standard in which the religion is governed by. So religion and tradition go hand in hand, because you are religious and your religion follow traditions, which are the standards, basically conservative, keeping things as they are, laws that has been established, rituals that has been established, ideals and beliefs that has been established. You want to maintain and keep it going, traditions and religion. Now, the whole thought and ideal of God is a spiritual entity, a spiritual entity that is none like any other, that lives in the sky, that is omnipotent, that sees all and knows all, that everything that ever been in existence was created by this God. But this God has a personality, which the personality has been transformed into a man, which is everyone know as Jesus. And so the personality of God has been transformed into a man and called his son. Now, this is how it's been. This is how it is, what people look at it. So this is God, the great entity, personality, the character of God, the flesh of God, transformed into a man, which is Jesus, which named his son and a savior and all of that. So I'm not going to get into all the disbeliefs. I try to make things real simple and easy when I talk about things. So I'm not going to get too deep, but I am going to just deal with basics so people can better understand what religion and God and traditions is all about. Now, when you look at how people perceive religion, traditions, and God, it's sort of like a judgmental type of attitude. In other words, people that have taken on these ideals immediately begin to judge. But they judge according to what? What they believe. What they believe to be true. And the premise and the foundation of religion and tradition and God is this thing called faith. Now, this thing called faith is based upon believing in something that normally you would not believe in. So you have to step out of your comfort zone And you have to believe in this thing that typically and normally, because you're in this flesh and you're human, you would normally have doubt. But then you have to believe in this faith in order to believe. As crazy as that may sound, that's pretty much what it is. All right. Now, the confusing thing about religion, traditions, and God is there is a standard and there is a book and there is a rule of law that were established in the book that we call the Bible. All right. And in this book called the Bible is supposed to be the words of this great entity, which is God. And in this book called the Bible is standards for living, and it also interprets the character of God, and it also speaks on prophecy, things that are to come or things that are to happen in the future. But then again, you have to go back to the faith, because you have to believe in this Bible. You have to believe in the things that are written in this Bible, because if you don't believe, it's hard for you to follow it. So you got to believe in it. And that's with any religion, okay? Whether it is a religion of Buddha, Judaism, okay, Islam, whatever. You have to believe. You have to have a strong sense of faith in these things in order to practice, and that means tradition, in order to hold to the standards and the laws that are written in the various books that sanctions these religions and sanctions the traditions and this ideal of God. Now, because I am talking about religion, tradition, and God, I'm going to have to do this more than once. So I'm going to have to do multiple videos. So y'all have to catch it whenever I decide to do another one. Nah. I'm going to do a series of it, and I'm going to talk about it. Now, my purpose for doing this video is not to introduce any religion to anybody. I'm not trying to have anyone come and choose anything. I'm giving you knowledge and food for thought. What you do with it is up to you. All right? But people have tried so hard throughout their lives to live according to these philosophies and these doctrines and these teachings that based upon these three principles: religion, tradition, and God. I mean, if you just keep it simple, that's what it is all about: religion, tradition, and God. And so many people have attempted to try to hold and live according to the standards of these three ideas, these three entities. The problem with that is that we're human. And the problem with that is that most individuals that seek to fight hard, to try hard, to live according to these three standards usually fails. And it becomes very difficult for them to try to hold to the laws and the rules and the things that are laid out before them. Why? Look at it this way. Because it is not the great entity of God that is bringing forth these rules and these laws. It is man that said that they were ordained and chosen by the great entity called God. And they were chosen to bring forth the laws, which is a part of the religion and the traditions and the standards and the ideals and the rules and the thoughts. And they are the ones that are to implement these things among the various communities throughout the world. And so people struggle with that idea, because when you're human, men make mistakes, men lie, men cheat, Men do conniving and underhanded things. So that's why many people question this ideal of religion, this ideal of traditions according to religion, and this ideal of God, is because everything is implemented by whom? Man. Now, the flip side to that is that there are signs and wonders that goes out throughout the world that's supposed to be the actions or the things that has come to pass according to the prophecies that were written within the standard for religion, the Bible. I was on Facebook the other day, and there was a picture from Honduras, I think a country called Honduras, where there was a seven-headed snake. I mean, they can fix these pictures up and make them look, so you don't know if it's real or whatever, but it appeared to be a seven-headed snake. And as I read one of the person that posted the picture, they immediately spoke on one of the prophecies that was written within the Bible that speaks on the last days in Revelation, where it talks about the seven-headed snake. And so they immediately went to that Bible and they spoke, we are truly living in the last days, because now we see the seven-headed snake, and now we're living in the last days from the book of Revelation. And I get it. I understand it. And I'm not one to address that issue of the thought or that feeling or that emotion or whatever their belief is. I'm not here to address that, but I want to bring that in the forefront to let you know how things are perceived when it comes to the whole ideal of religion, tradition, and God. And there are many individuals that are sold, that are strongly believers of the teachings and the philosophies and the rules and the laws of the ideals that I mentioned, the three principles that I mentioned. So I just want to say, I'm going to have to talk about this a little later and kind of break it down. I'm going to deal with each of them differently at some point. This is pretty much the introduction of what I'm going to be talking about: religion, tradition, and God. I'm AJ Copeland, and this is Topics to Go.